Have you ever wondered what it means when the entire sun starts to pulse with energy and no one knows exactly why? Hello, everyone. You are watching at the Future Files channel. If you find the information useful, please help us by subscribing to the channel. And what I'm about to share with you could mark the beginning of something much bigger happening in our solar system. In just the past 24 hours, the sun has unleashed not one, not two, but three massive plasma outbursts, back to back to back, from its limbs. These eruptions are not directly Earth-facing, at least not yet, but their timing and intensity are sounding alarms among space weather experts. Why? Because solar activity appears to be ramping up fast, right as we approach a period of unusually critical planetary alignments, beginning around June 21st and extending through the end of the month. These plasma eruptions, while beautiful, are also warnings. They tell us the sun's magnetic and electrical systems are becoming unstable, primed for larger, more Earth-impacting events. And that's just the beginning. In today's episode, we'll also look at an explosive volcanic event here on Earth that seems strangely synchronized with what's happening in space. Coincidence? Or could this be another sign that the entire solar system is starting to resonate as one? What if the Earth itself is responding to the same invisible forces shaking the sun? While we watch plasma fountains dance above the solar surface, something just as dramatic is unfolding below our feet, deep in the molten heart of the Earth. Yesterday, on the big island of Hawaii, episode 25 of volcanic activity officially began at Kilauea, one of the most active volcanoes on the planet. And what we're seeing now is nothing short of spectacular. Between noon and 2 p.m. local time, Kilauea erupted with super tall lava fountains, some reaching up to 1,000 feet, or 305 meters, into the air. These are among the largest eruptions recorded in this recent phase of volcanic unrest. But what's truly fascinating isn't just the size, it's the shape. When we compare these massive lava plumes with the plasma eruptions on the sun, the visual resemblance is striking. Both rise in arched, spiraling structures, pushed upward by immense pressure, one formed by electromagnetic forces, the other by geothermal energy. Yet both seem to follow a shared pattern of natural behavior. Why is that? Could it be that what we're seeing is a universal expression of energy, repeating itself on vastly different scales, from the core of the Earth to the surface of the sun? At Kilauea, these lava fountains are being fueled by mafic magma, rich in iron and low in viscosity. That means the molten rock flows easily and explosively under pressure. This magma originates from a hotspot, a concentrated plume of heat rising from deep within the mantle, driving the volcano's continuous activity. And right now, that hotspot is under tremendous stress. Geophysically speaking, it's rare to see this level of intensity, and the timing is curious. These ground-based lava eruptions are coinciding almost perfectly with the sun's plasma activity, suggesting a potential correlation between Earth's inner dynamics and solar energetics. Some scientists argue it's all coincidence, but others, like myself, are beginning to wonder, what if both systems, Earth and Sun, are reacting to the same external influence? Could it be the shifting gravitational fields caused by the coming planetary alignment? Or perhaps a deeper, subtler force, something embedded in the very fabric of space-time, that causes resonant effects across different celestial bodies? Whatever the cause may be, this connection is more than poetic. It's physical, it's measurable, and it's happening right now. As we move further into this critical window of cosmic alignment, we need to keep our eyes not just on the skies, but also on the Earth below. Because when fire erupts both from above and below, it might not just be random chance. It could be a message that our solar system is sinking to a higher rhythm. What happens when the sun's outer atmosphere tears open and begins to release its energy directly into space? While lava fountains erupt from deep within the Earth, the sun is undergoing its own dramatic outbursts, not only in the form of plasma jets, but also through vast structural changes in its corona, the Sun's outermost atmosphere. Over the last 24 hours, we've witnessed two major coronal mass ejections, CMEs, launch from the Sun. These are enormous bubbles of magnetized plasma that break away from the solar surface and travel through the solar system. Although neither event appears to be directly Earth-facing, they're a sign that solar activity is intensifying, fast. But these plasma blasts aren't the only thing catching scientists' attention. One of the most persistent and influential structures on the Sun has returned once again, a massive coronal hole. This is the 10th time this coronal hole has rotated into Earth's view, first appearing in October of last year. Back then, it was small and easy to miss, but with each rotation, it's grown larger, darker, and more dynamic. Now, it stretches from the Sun's southern hemisphere all the way toward the equator, even showing trans-equatorial extensions, signs of complex magnetic evolution. But what exactly is a coronal hole? Contrary to the name, it's not a physical hole in the Sun. It's a region where the Sun's magnetic field lines open outward into space, allowing solar wind, a high-speed stream of charged particles, to escape more freely. These areas have lower plasma density and cooler temperatures, so they appear darker in ultraviolet imagery. And when these streams hit Earth, they can disrupt our planet's magnetic field, triggering geomagnetic storms, auroras, and even subtle shifts in atmospheric currents and tectonic stress. According to NOAA space weather forecasts, this current coronal hole is expected to become geoeffective around June 14th, likely triggering a G2-class geomagnetic storm, strong enough to affect satellite operations, power grids, and possibly biological rhythms. What's more, this coronal hole appears to be directly connected to the plasma filaments, those long rope-like structures of magnetized energy that snake across the Sun's surface. When one of these filaments becomes unstable and erupts, it often leaves behind a coronal hole. That's exactly what we may be seeing now, a feedback loop of magnetic activity building across the solar disk. The synchrony is uncanny. Massive plasma blasts, expanding coronal holes, intensifying solar wind, and all of it coinciding with an approaching period of critical planetary alignment. Something is building. The Sun is changing, rapidly, and its magnetic environment is becoming more volatile, more unstable. We've seen these signs before, right before major solar flares, X-class eruptions, and Earth-impacting space weather events. Are we on the verge of another one? That's the question we'll explore in the next segment, because planetary geometry may hold the key to everything that's happening now. Can the invisible pull of distant planets really stir the Sun and even shake the Earth? As we witness the Sun's magnetic activity surge and Earth's volcanoes awaken, many are asking a profound question. What's causing all of this to happen now? The answer may lie not in the Sun or Earth alone, but in the gravitational dance of the planets themselves. We are entering a rare window of planetary alignment, a period of celestial geometry where multiple planets, including Mercury, Mars, Venus, Jupiter, and Neptune, begin to line up in such a way that their gravitational vectors converge through the solar system. The critical date? June 21st. But this alignment isn't just a single-day event. It builds gradually and holds through to June 30th and beyond, creating what some researchers call a resonant window, a time where the collective gravitational influence of these planetary bodies may exert subtle but powerful effects. Let's break this down. Gravity, though weaker than electromagnetic forces, is still a fundamental force, and when large celestial bodies align, especially in straight lines, their gravitational fields can interact and reinforce each other. This can influence the plasma-rich Sun, which is incredibly sensitive to changes in electromagnetic and gravitational conditions. Stephen Burns explains it this way: plasma has mass, and anything with mass is affected by gravity. But because plasma is also highly charged, it responds even more strongly to changes in electromagnetic fields. So when planetary alignment shifts the gravitational baseline of the solar system, it may create just enough disturbance to alter the sun's magnetic equilibrium, causing sunspots to form, plasma filaments to destabilize, and solar flares to ignite. We're already seeing hints of this. Although the number of visible sunspots is relatively low right now, hovering around 150, that's a notable increase from the previous 30 days. And historically, sunspot groups can emerge very quickly during alignment windows. We've seen this before, sudden bursts of solar activity during planetary conjunctions. So what's special about this particular alignment? On June 21st, Mercury and Mars form a near-perfect conjunction from the Sun's perspective. Then, by June 25th, Earth aligns with Jupiter, the most massive planet in the solar system, creating a Jupiter-Sun-Earth gravitational vector. And by June 30th, multiple planetary lines form across both hemispheres of the solar system, intersecting regions of the Sun that are already magnetically active. It's like tuning a giant cosmic instrument, and all the strings are being pulled tight at once. Could this be the trigger for a powerful X-class solar flare? Could it be the subtle pressure that unlocks energy stored deep in Earth's fault lines? No one knows for certain. But if history and physics are any guide, then this alignment window is one to watch very, very closely. Because when the solar system moves into harmony, the entire system responds. What if space weather isn't just about satellites and auroras, but also earthquakes? While the sun intensifies and the planets align, Earth is already starting to react. In the past 24 hours, we've observed a noticeable spike in geomagnetic activity marked by an elevated KP index, which measures disturbances in Earth's magnetic field. At its peak, it reached KP5, officially a G1 class geomagnetic storm. That may sound moderate, but it's enough to stir up atmospheric currents, electrical systems, and, potentially, tectonic stress beneath our feet. Here's what happened. As high-speed solar wind streamed from the approaching coronal hole, it carried with it enhanced magnetic fields, specifically the southward-pointing Z component. When this component aligns opposite to Earth's own magnetic field, it creates a sort of magnetic lock-in that allows energy to penetrate the planet's magnetic shield more effectively. This leads to an energy transfer into Earth's upper atmosphere and magnetosphere, and, some suggest, even deeper, into the crust itself. And right after this magnetic spike, seismic activity began to rise. One of the most notable events occurred along the Pacific-Antarctic Ridge, with a 5.7 magnitude earthquake clustered among several smaller quakes in the same region, all occurring within a short time window following the geomagnetic storm. Coincidence? Possibly. But there's more. In the last 48 hours, there have been a series of magnitude 5+ earthquakes reported across Taiwan, Japan, and the Philippines, a well-known seismic hotspot. This wave of moderate quakes aligns with what many researchers have observed, a possible connection between coronal holes and tectonic stress release. Here's how it might work. As the solar wind pressure increases, it adds energy to Earth's geomagnetic system. This loading can influence the crust, especially along fault zones that are already close to rupture. When enough stress builds, a small external trigger, like a geomagnetic storm, might be just enough to set off a quake. In fact, studies have shown a statistical correlation between major earthquakes and the presence of Earth-facing coronal holes, especially large, long-lived ones, like the one we're facing now. We're currently witnessing the 10th rotation of this same coronal hole, and with every pass, Earth absorbs another wave of its energy. This cumulative loading effect might be key to understanding why some earthquakes don't happen immediately, but instead build up over time, only to release when the system hits its breaking point. So while the magnitude 6+ earthquakes haven't occurred just yet, the conditions are aligning, both literally and energetically. What happens next depends on how Earth's fault lines respond to this continued influx of solar energy. But the Earth isn't the only system showing signs of pressure. There's one more place we need to look, a region not of fire, wind, or rock, but of resonance. What if the Earth itself is whispering warnings through frequencies most of us never hear? Beneath the surface of earthquakes, beyond the skies of solar storms, lies a subtler layer of Earth's energetic system, the Schumann resonances. These resonances are like Earth's electromagnetic heartbeat, formed by lightning discharges that bounce between the surface of the planet and the ionosphere, creating standing waves in very low frequencies, typically around 7.83 Hz, 14 Hz, 20 Hz, and higher harmonics. They are normally stable, steady, like a planetary pulse. But recently, something has changed. Using high-resolution data from the Space Observing System in Tomsk, Russia, geophysicist Stefan Burns identified anomalous patterns within these resonances, and not just minor fluctuations. We're talking about sustained, high-amplitude spikes, particularly in Mode 5 and Mode 6, which are rarely seen with such strength. One unusual signal spanned over 16 hours, starting around 5 a.m. and continuing past 9 p.m. local time. The curve-like structure and unexpected intensity at frequencies near 33 to 39 Hz defy standard explanations and don't match the typical signatures of known atmospheric interference like thunderstorms. Even more mysterious was a brief, concentrated energy burst in the 15 to 35 Hz range, centered near 25 Hz, a frequency band often associated with pre-seismic energy emissions. These short-lived bursts might be linked to upcoming tectonic shifts, though science has yet to conclusively prove the connection. And then there were dot patterns and high-frequency anomalies, strange artifacts with no clear source, potentially indicating deeper energetic turbulence in Earth's field. Are these just instrument noise, atmospheric oddities? Or could they be signs of a deeper, planet-wide energetic rebalancing? Stefan Burns believes that what we're seeing may be part of a larger resonance effect, tied to the Sun, the planetary alignments, and the flow of cosmic energy through our solar system. Everything may be connected: the plasma bursts above, the lava fountains below, the shifting magnetic fields, the quiet trembling of Earth's crust. And now, the whispers in our resonant frequencies. And while we can't predict exactly what will happen next, one thing is clear: something is stirring. Something that resonates across multiple layers of reality, from solar plasma to human perception. So the question remains: are we just observers of these changes, or are we part of the resonance itself? If you found this information insightful, or even a little mysterious, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss future updates. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think we're witnessing a cosmic synchronization? Or is it all just coincidence? Thanks for tuning in. Stay aware, stay grounded. And until next time.